These are like really easy questions, and nowhere in here is Fairy Queen like claiming that Erudite is an extension of Destiny. And then so Fairy Queen quote retweets this, coming in hot with another thread and yapping. Yeah, I'll give you the D. All right, I'll give you the D. All right, you got it. So let's do some Destiny drama. Destiny, big political streamer, you know, big fish in a big pond. Destiny is kind of a gooner, like a gooner, okay? And I think it was in December, it was leaked that Destiny was like, he'd been recording people and stuff like that during illicit acts of degeneracy, and that he shared those with somebody, and then those messages leaked. And so there's been a lot of conversation about if the people in the videos consented to those videos being shared. And some of them, there's questions of if the people in the video even knew that they were being recorded. So those videos all leaked, and a couple of people have said that the videos were not to be shared, and things like that. So it's kind of like a big issue of, you know, recording intimate acts with others and then sharing them without their consent. Whole thing, okay? Whole thing. So whole explosion, okay? Whole explosion. So Erudite, not so Erudite, does a podcast with Destiny. It's called Bridges. It doesn't do as well as his other podcasts because Erudite's really boring. But there's a lot of lore, a lot of Erudite lore that I will not get into right now. But it's you know, she's his number one dick writer, let's just say. And she maintains that they've never had a sexual relationship. I have no reason to believe that's not true. But nonetheless, she is dick writer extravaganza. And she postures a lot as like a feminist and blah, 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 or whatever the fuck. So Fairy Queen, another character, is kind of a small content creator that like ping pongs around different communities. She does like panels and shit like that. I refer to her as Queen Yapper. Because she just like yaps. She's a chatty girl. Okay. And so after all this shit came out, obviously, all this crazy shit came out about Destiny and the sex tapes and whatever the fuck, Fairy Queen commented on one of Erudite's videos. Erudite recently started streaming and making videos again and stuff after like a big hiatus. And so Fairy Queen commented on her video and basically was like, how do you consider yourself a feminist when you're like, you know, working with somebody who's like sexually deviant and arguably like dangerous to women if he is truthfully recording people without their consent and sharing those videos. So this is Queenman reading.
After silently supporting Steven's actions this past month, I can't understand why you'd even bother calling yourself a feminist. Why would someone like Radfem Hitler, Hannah Borelli, or any real feminist want to work with you? Except to get their name out. Are you just grifting for money at this point? Cut the act, own up to being a moderate conservative searching for religion, and be authentic for once. Throw out the goth makeup, you're not in high school anymore. Stop kissing Steven's ass, kick him to the curb where he belongs. Why the sudden rebrand, Kyla? Was it Destiny leaking nudes of your female friends to a random 19-year-old with a foot fetish on Discord? Or maybe it was Steven lying about the details of his divorce with Melina, then silencing her with the threat of releasing a so-called manifesto, painting her as unstable and immature when in reality she was heartbroken over him cheating with Lauren Southern? Or could it be your co-host professing his love to Lauren Southern, only to later send her a love letter to some teenager online to get off? It's kind of hard to sell your womanity show when your co-host has now exposed himself as a sexual abuser of women. Also, nice job at stealing my idea for the podcast, by the way. Glad I inspired you to do a real deep dive and have brutal conversations about gender dynamics. You can start with this one. Why are you choosing to continue working with this piece of shit? After silently supporting Steven's act.
So Erudite in her little like return to streaming thing had said that she wanted to start doing like feminist gender podcasts and shit like that. And so Fairy Queen's question is like, if you are like this feminist queen, why are you working with somebody who's like arguably very anti-feminist and you know the controversy that has recently ensued and what have you? She's kind of being a bitch in the reply, but I mean, I guess it's fair. I will say that I think it's funny that Fairy Queen thinks that Erudite like stole her podcast idea when Fairy Queen doesn't even fucking have a platform. So it'd be like one of you guys like stealing like an idea from me. It's like, okay, who cares? Anyway, so part 2. So this is Fairy Queen Fairy Queen posted that comment on Erudite's YouTube video. Erudite deleted the comment and then messaged Fairy Queen and said, "Hey Fairy Queen, I get that you're mad at me and that's fair. We've got our differences, but I wanted to ask you to think about the people involved in the leaks. I've been talking with them. They really want as little attention on this as possible. Your comment is kind of confirming that it's them, which they are denying, and drawing more attention to it. For their sake, I'd really appreciate if you consider removing that part of your comment." And so the thing with all of this is that a lot of people like don't want to talk about it because the people that are directly involved, like people are kind of speculating on who is who, just based on, like, obviously there's some with Melina, and then because Melina and Destiny were married for a while, like, obviously, and you can see her face. The rest of them, sometimes you can't really see the face of who's in the video, but people kind of speculate on who's who based on, you know, who was where at what time, and, you know, like, freckles, birthmarks, whatever the fuck. Like, people are kind of playing, you know, CIA to figure out who's in these videos, and there's some confidence with the people that are in the videos. But so the point is that it's like, in naming them, you're causing like more problems than there needs to be, which I mean is fair. If people don't want to be involved or whatever, they don't want to be involved. Like, I think that's fair, but I don't think Fairy Queen didn't name anybody in her original comment, so I don't really get the point of this. And then so this part 3 is Melina saying, this is a clip of Melina saying that the videos were not consensual to be shared with others.
But I'm pretty sure for the people that are aware that's happened the past month, I think that shows a lot of what has been happening.
Sorry, this is very quiet.
Things that just happened, the past month, things that's been done to me, without consent or anything.
So this is like kind of a short clip or whatever, but it's assumed that she's talking about the leaks, the video leaks here, that they weren't shared consensually. So this is Fairy Queen responding to Erudite again, and Fairy Queen says, 1, do you acknowledge that Melina is claiming that Steven shared those videos without her consent? 2, have you confronted Steven privately about this? And 3, will you disassociate from him for sharing another woman's sex types without her consent? And then Erudite says, gotcha, I'm not an extension of Steven, you are not a feminist. These are like really easy questions, and nowhere in here is Fairy Queen like claiming that Erudite is an extension of Destiny, right? Like, she's just saying like, your involvement in this is your friend, right? Like, if I had a friend and say that there's like a group of 3 of us, and one of my friends leaks like nudes from somebody, if somebody asked me, Malcolm, have you talked to this person in private about their behavior? That's not like saying that I'm an extension of that person. It's like, what is your involvement in this thing? Like, this event that happened, what is your involvement? What are you doing about it? Like, how do you feel about it? What are you doing to correct it? Are you going to take a strong position on it? Or are you just going to like let it fucking go? Like, that doesn't make somebody like an extension of that person. It's just like, that's your friend. How are you handling them doing something that's not appropriate or wrong, right? Oh, and then Fairy Queen says, Kyla deleted my comment on her YouTube video. My community criticized her decision to co-host with a known sexual abuser in the community. I followed up with 3 direct questions, and Kyla blocked me instead of addressing them. Given that Kyla seems unbothered by Steven sharing Melina and others' nudes, I see no reason not to share her refusal to explain why she continues to co-host with him in public. I dare her, and frankly anyone from DGG, to get upset at me, posting our private conversation after silently supporting Steven, firing off revenge porn in the past December. I'm curious what leg you'd have to stand on. After all, you don't know for sure that I didn't have consent to share. So just assume that I did, and please don't harass poor Kyla with messages asking her if she consented to having me post this. Kyla would very much prefer that we don't discuss this. She wants as little attention on her Bridges co-host as possible. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And then there's a meme. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, correcting your friends, blind loyalty is gay, yada, yada, yada. You guys already know the deal, okay? So, following that, so the whole hoopla around Destiny is that the allegation is that Destiny meets women, he rizzes them up, he lets them into his community, he gives them attention, he gives them access to his platform, he, you know, gives them financial and growth opportunities for like streaming careers and stuff like that. But he does that on the contingency that there's like sex involved in some capacity or another, whether it's like flirting, sending like dirty messages, sexting, nudes, actual hookups, whatever it is. So that's the allegation. And this has been an allegation for quite a while. Mr. Girl started talking about this like 2 years ago, I think, and God bless him, he fucking biffed it. If he would have waited just a little bit longer, he would have been very vindicated, which is, you know, unfortunate. But nonetheless, that is the allegation, okay? So in light of this, obviously, the people that are alleged to be in the videos don't have anything to say because they're like, this is fucking crazy. I don't have anything that I want to say. And then a lot of people have kind of like locked ranks around this where like they won't talk about it either, where people that are in Destiny's orbit just don't want to talk about it. And it's alleged that there's some kind of legal activity going on as well. So it's understandable why some people might not want to comment on it if there is like legality involved, right? Like if you're talking to a lawyer about like suing somebody or whatever the fuck, and they say, hey, don't talk about this publicly, I think that's okay, whatever. But at least for everybody else, there have been people that have been kind of like stepping out of line in order to call attention to this, quote unquote, stepping out of line. One of them was Wick, when Wick read a $20 super chat asking about the revenge porn, and just poor Wick had no idea what he was doing. He nuked that bridge beyond repair, and Destiny was the only reason that he ever got views. So I thought that was funny. But anyway, another character enters the arena. Merc Off the Perk. Merc Off the Perk is a streamer. She mostly streams on Kick. She was tangentially involved with Destiny. She would do like a couple of drama streams here and there. Very young, very dumb, very impressionable, very like therapy speak in everything. Like, you're not holding space for me. You're violating my boundaries. I feel unsafe, like in these kinds of conversations. And, you know, obviously Destiny is like a debate pervert, so this isn't the kind of environment that she would want to be in anyway, okay? But anyway, so Merc Off the Perk tweeted, oh, damn, was this actually that long ago? So this was in December 2nd, so this was a while ago. I actually thought that this was a lot sooner, but anyway. So Merc tweets, he tried to sleep with me as well, and completely ditched me as a friend when I wouldn't. Orbiter or not, I think it's extremely problematic to want to fuck every single female you come in contact with. Platonic friendships can be just as valuable as intimate ones. That was Merc's kind of statement about all of this. And then, so Fairy Queen quote retweets this, coming in hot with another thread and yapping. So Fairy Queen says, Merc's claim that Destiny flirts with women only to discard and ignore them once he loses interest is something that I can personally confirm because it happened to me. A story in 6 parts. Spoiler alert, it's not 6 parts, it's many more. I just want you guys to like have an open mind when we're reading this. I want you guys to really think about, as I'm reading this to you, just listen to what we're discussing, okay? Part 1, I drove to Destiny versus Milo Yiannopoulos debate in the spring of 2023. Part 2, like Steven, I graduated from a small Catholic school in Omaha, Nebraska. Like Steven, I am Catholic, Air Force brat, and I am also a dual citizen. I sympathize with Steven's narrative about having a partner with BPD and even started out as a libertarian. So this image is, hey man, this is Fairy Queen 2 Destiny. Hey man, I'm from Omaha, went to high school at a local Catholic school there, and my family is also Air Force. I've watched your content for years, and I've watched the whole Lab Mr. Girl arc. And the Lab Mr. Girl arc is when Mr. Girl accused Destiny of being, like, you know, sexually inappropriate with his orbiters. She goes on to say, over the past year or so, I just want to say that I'm really sorry about what happened. I dated a man with BPD on and off for about a year, and I had a ton of sexual details leaked to my entire PhD program at my university where I work. So I have at least a bit of an idea of what you're going through. I know that you're a big content creator and that drama cycles are at least a bit par for the course with the platform, but I just wanted to reach out and support and hope that you're doing okay. I can't wait to watch the next debate. So we're kind of being thirsty a little bit, I think. Just from reading this, we're being a little thirsty, I think. A little thirsty. Especially because we 180'd, right? We heard the allegations coming from Mr. Girl that Destiny is sexually inappropriate with his female orbiters, and when we liked Destiny, we didn't believe them, okay? So I'm sensing that we're a little parched, okay? We're being a little thirsty, all right? So, my opinion. Part 3, Steven's success at flipping the 2016 trend of embarrassing creators like Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad, felt like a bolt from beyond in college, and his journey from libertarianism to becoming the omni-liberal felt very compelling to me. I had a huge fan crush on him. Okay. We're kind of reinforcing that we're a little thirsty. Need a little bit of water, okay? Part 4, I met Steven after the show and asked for an autograph and bonded over being from Omaha. He seemed professional and kind. I remember Steven helping the crew set up beforehand. Steven's cameraman spoke to me afterwards and shared that the DGG chat loved me. I was on the moon. Part 5, after gushing, quote, it's so freaking cool to meet you, end quote, and saying goodbye to Steven, I drove home from Knoxville on 4/11/23. My partner and I were thrilled people liked my clip. With my partner's big TikTok and Twitter, we hope to use DGG's attention to launch a podcast. So not only were we a little bit thirsty for the D man himself, we were a little bit thirsty for the clout as well, okay? And Destiny is somebody that does have a reputation for launching people's careers in streaming. Okay, Vosh, not so Erudite. Hassan did the Young Turks and everything before, but at least as far as his streaming was concerned, he had a big hand in that as well. Who are some other ones, you guys? There's a lot of... Mr. Girl, obviously, was a big one. That's kind of what he's known for. So knowing that Fairy Queen thought Destiny was a little cute, and that she wanted to start a fucking podcast as well, she met up with him. People liked her. Fuentes is another one. And she was like, hang on a second. I have an idea. Why don't I do a podcast, okay? So hopefully this picture is coming together for you in your mind. Part 6, my partner and I drove to South Carolina to see Laura Loomer speak, hoping to cover Christian nationalism for our podcast episode. As a Jewish woman in MAGA, she seemed like an intriguing guest. We were naive and unprepared, but excited, and she gave us her number. I intentionally paid the $100 fee to meet Loomer afterward, and ask her directly. During dinner, I unexpectedly ran into Steven's cameraman again. I also spoke with Semenko and Steven's cameraman about how they coordinated with guests like Lumer, Yiannopoulos, and Destiny. Part 7. While visiting this in Charleston, South Carolina, the first Reformed synagogue located in the U.S., I received this message. I attempted to call this number afterwards, but I received no response. So I'm going to open these, and I want you guys to think about these as I'm reading them. And the other thing to be mindful of here is that we don't have the number. We don't get to see what the phone number is. So there's not a way to confirm or deny who this person is. So if you have an iPhone and somebody sends you a text message, if you don't have that number saved in your phone, the number is right here. Okay? The number is right here. So you could say, is this so-and-so's phone number? And people would say yes or no, right? Okay. So text message, hey. Response, hello, my name is blank. Really good idea, Fairy Queen. Great idea. Nice to meet you, blank. I'm 33 years old and I'm 33 years old. There's no separation here. Live in Miami. And you? How did you get this number? From my assistant. Well, hello. And then it looks like these are... it looks to me like these are two different messages here. Because we have the thread here of nice to meet you, I'm 33, live in Miami, and you. And then, how did you get this number from my assistant? And then over here we have nice to meet you, I'm 33 years old, live in Miami, and you. And then we have a different response. So they're not threaded correctly, which is kind of interesting. What's up, Jibber? Hi, I'm 26 years old, I live in blank. Are you the camera guy? No, sorry. Sorry, I think my assistant may have got the wrong number. Sorry, I think my assistant may have got wrong number. Hope didn't bother you, question mark. What is your name? Who is your assistant? I might know them. Sorry, I've been meeting a lot of new people lately, and I've been super busy. What do these read to you guys? What do these sound like? When I'm reading this out loud, and you can see here that these are two different messages, obviously. That there's 33 years old, live in Miami, and you. They're not connected. There's no space right here. Then we have, sorry, I think my assistant may have got wrong number. Hope didn't bother you.
Who is he?
Thanks for the follow, bud. What do these read like to you? Yeah, they read like scam text, right? They read like scam text. They don't read like a real message, right? And for those of you who were painfully tortured to death by the log leaks from Lavloon, Anavoir, and this recent kerfluffle, this isn't how Destiny texts. And I'm not a handwriting analysis when it comes to texting, but at least in the messages that I've seen, Destiny is pretty aggressively flirty. Not in a bad way. Not in he's send me pictures of your tits, bitch. But he's very, very aggressively flirty. He's very flirtatious in the messages, at least the log dumps that I've seen. So this doesn't even read it doesn't even read like it's him that's sending them, okay? So something to be mindful of. Fringe flirty is a great way to say that. Great way to say that. He does these faces. Where's my chat right here? These fuckers. These. He sends these and shit. Or these. Very cringe. Okay, very cringe. All right. Part 8. I had assumed that the person was Destiny, but felt unsure, question mark. I reached out to Destiny's cameraman later that evening. I wanted to emphasize that the cameraman was very professional and helpful. And in here, she doesn't ask for Destiny's phone number. She doesn't send a screenshot of this message and say, hey, is this Destiny's phone number? I got this text today. She's just talking about camera shit. She's asking questions about cameras and everything. She doesn't ask, because for me, let's pretend that I am Malcolm, and Malcolm thinks that Destiny's really cute, and Malcolm also wants to start a podcast. And so I meet Destiny's cameraman, and I meet Destiny, and then I get a weird text message that says, I'm 33 and I live in Miami, and I'm like, this might be my shot. I may be able to ride that dick all the way to the top, okay? This might be my shot. I would screenshot this with the number visible, and I would send it to this guy and be like, yo, is this Destiny's phone number? I just got this message. Why wouldn't you do that? Very weird, okay? Part 9, a man from Uncensored America reached out expressing interest in dating me. I showed him these green text messages I had received and asked if the number belonged to Destiny. He confirmed the number that texted me was Steven's. So she sent these. Is there another image here? No, this is it. So we don't even get to see that. We don't even get to see this person confirming or denying if it is Destiny's phone number. And then it's also cut off. I can't see if there's the title tag that says creep with a question mark or if it's the actual phone number. And then why the fuck would you... A man from Uncensored America, what is... Uncensored America is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Why the fuck would they know? Why wouldn't you ask the cameraman? Like, weird. Okay. Part 10, I called into Wick TV and felt impressed with my previous performance and gave me the chance to debate with Destiny. I felt so excited and thrilled to be there. This panel is painful. You have your Nightmare Blunt rotation here of Synth, SDL, Prime Kai, and Fairy Queen. Nightmare Blunt rotation. You could not pay me to be in a room with these people. Okay, too much at once. You can imagine my surprise when not only did Steven not reach out to me afterwards, but even sniped at me during our debate. Yes, Steven, I read books, full books in fact. It's part of my job. I don't need to abuse ADHD medication to help me turn a page. So now she's getting salty. She was questioned for the dick. She didn't get the dick. She was questioned for the clout, didn't get the clout, and now she's mad. Mother is very angry, kitten. So, we get it. You're a teacher and you want us to read books. So a little fucking meme comment in his chat, like whatever the fuck. And then we're taking snipes at him, abusing Vivance. Notice me, senpai, notice me. Yeah, and then you can notice, imagine my surprise when Steven didn't reach out to me afterwards. You know how many fucking panels I've been on and I don't expect anybody to message me after the fact? Who afterwards is like, hey, fun seeing you on the panel, Queen. Like, nobody, that's not etiquette. That's not common. I think the only person that I still talked to that I was on a panel with was like, probably Keldoge, honestly. I think that's the only person. Like, it's not etiquette to message people and follow up after you go on a fucking panel. That's weird. Okay. Part 11. I tried to reach out to Steven on 12/26 of 2023, fearing for the safety of a friend of his. What? I was able to make contact with Kyla and other friends to reach this person in time. I had permission to post this. Steven, however, had me blocked on Discord. Hey, Fairy Queen, what's up? I realize we have our differences, and I have to be honest with them, but I also know that you've spoken to Blank before. I hate to do this, but I'm unsure how to approach this. I was hoping you might know family and friends or members of hers to reach out to. I have no fucking idea what this is about. Not a fucking clue what this is about, but also, like, cool? I don't understand. Continuing on where we were. Okay, so I don't even think that Fairy Queen has the assistant's number, because if I had somebody's phone number, I wouldn't be messaging them on Discord. I would, like, text them. And that's weird. Okay, so we have this. Okay, part 12, TLDR. Steven asked his assistant for my phone number and then sent a creepy message without even introducing himself. When flirting wasn't an option, he ended our conversation, blocked me on Discord, and acted like a pathetic butthurt bitch sniping at me during our debate. So I want evidence of this. I want somebody to show me this, because the only information that we have here is like these text messages. This doesn't show an attempt at flirting. All it says is like, sorry, I think my assistant got the wrong number. Hope I didn't bother you or whatever. And then there's nothing more. So this is his attempt at flirting. Did he even ever respond to anything that she ever fucking said ever? It's like she dreamed up this sexual relationship in her fucking head and then got mad that it didn't play out. So yeah, I don't know. So I believe Merc, I believe every woman who's spoken out about Steven's primary interest being using them for sex and then discarding them. Like, you were never on the table to be used. Like, if Destiny is using women sexually, like getting what he wants out of them and then discarding them, you were never picked up. You were never on the table in the first place. Like, there was nothing to discard. There was no relationship of which to speak of. Like, you dreamed this up. You invented this in your head. I'm ashamed that I ever believed Steven's narrative about Anna or Melina, and I apologize to all of you. If you are a DGG fan like me, realize that women don't take accountability narrative is a tactic that Steven and Kyla and others use to avoid taking responsibility themselves. But, like, she was never solicited for sex. She was never given access to Destiny's platform, which are the claims. The claims are that he will allow women access to his platform for sex. She was never on his platform. They never engaged. There was no, like, it's like the SpongeBob meme where it's like, I lost something once. It's like nobody... You weren't solicited for sex. You weren't even flirted with. You never accessed the platform, and you're like, oh, I was digitally raped. What are you talking about right now? Fucking nuts, dude. So she's like, you know, I think that she wanted the clout, didn't get it, would have taken the sexual attention, didn't get it. And thank God that she didn't, because she would be one of those people who was like, oh my God, like I consensually, you know, engaged sexually with Steven. And now that I don't get access to his platform anymore, he basically like pump and dump me over the internet, which is fucking nuts. I think that's crazy, dude. And then let's see if I can find this, because Destiny talked about it yesterday on stream, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find the clip. I don't think so, because he was live streaming, and I think that he privates all of his streams afterwards. Oh, I see what the issue is here. Okay. Yeah, like, and then we're derailing it to make it about ourselves. So this is him talking about it on stream. Hang on.
So they've either blocked me or I never responded. but okay. She DM'd me, hey man, I'm from Omaha, went to high school at a local Catholic school there. My family's also Air Force. I watched your content for years and I watched the whole Lab Mystical arc over the past year or so. I just wanted to say that I'm really happy, or I'm really sorry about what happened. I did a MLB on and off for a year. I had a ton of sexual deals leaked from him to my entire PhD program at the university where I work. So I have at least a little bit of an idea what you're going through, blah, 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 blah. If she said she was from Omaha and mentioned, I'm surprised I didn't respond. I don't know, maybe I didn't miss the I'm not sure. But maybe who knows, maybe my response is in here. But I don't remember ever seeing this person in real life, but okay.
Yeah, so he's like, I would have responded to this. And then he kind of elaborates a little bit more where he's like, yeah, I would have totally gone in hard on this if I would have like paid more attention to the messages or whatever. So yeah, it's messy, it's sloppy, and it's like, how can I make this about me? Okay. And I don't know, dude. It's just really fucking embarrassing. It's like, why are you crashing out so hard? Like, Steven flirted with and tried to sexually extort me. Where? What are you talking about? You're imagining it. That didn't happen. That literally didn't happen. What are you talking about?